Welcome back, cozy travelers. If you are new to my channel, thank you for clicking on this video, and if you're coming back, I want to welcome you back. On today's video, it's my favorite time of the year, which is my lineup for this season. I literally feel like the Mariah Carey meme, like, it's time! And so for this winter lineup, I have to preface that I definitely am not a math person. And what I mean by that is, typically I have about 13 pens lined up, and it's been like that pretty much every time I made a video for these. Somehow 2 pens snuck in here. Now I have 15 pens inked up for the season, which typically I do 13 because at some point throughout the next 3 months, like if I get a new pen or something happens, like another pen gets added in, and so then I ended up getting to that 15 around the mid-season time. But no, we're starting off with 15 right off the bat, which doesn't bode well with my ink lineup, which means I'll probably have like 16 or 18 the next time I check in with you guys. So we'll see what happens then. But for now, we have 15 instead of 13, which means this video is going to be a little bit longer than usual. I also have a different setup for the actual spread because the A5 Tomoe River paper book that I had, I somehow misplaced in my house, and I don't know how, but it's like poof. Trust me, probably at some point within 2026 I'll probably find it and be like, there it is, but we'll see how far I have gotten into the new book. And that is this Hobonichi book right here. Is paper in here because something was drawing before. Is this 2026 Day Free that I accidentally bought. And by accident, I mean I blanked out at the Hobonichi store and meant to grab the plain book and ended up grabbing this one, but it's okay. I'm still going to use it. But let me set this up and let us get swatching. Okay, if you're new here and you're wondering what this thing is off screen, I got this little cart at a thrift store, and I've been using it anytime we have an inking for a season video, and this is where I keep most of the samples, and then I keep the bottles on the side. But I honestly love this thing. I just want to like wheel it into frame one time. We'll see when that happens, but that's what's off screen here where you're like, what is that metal thing? But what I was talking about for a new setup here. So it's a mixture between, I was watching Karina's recent inked up video, and I saw that she had done these little grids. I don't know if you can see it here, but she did like these little grid line marks to kind of mark out where the swatch should go. And I thought that was a genius idea because I sometimes underestimate how much space I leave or overestimate, and I'm not happy how they're laid out sometimes. But in doing that, because I'm doing 15, that ended up being a nice number. The squares, in order for them not to be too small on the page, I made them a little bit longer, more rectangular. So I do have a little extra more space to play with. So instead of maybe doing like circular ones, I'm probably gonna do like more oval. And the other person who I got a little inspo from is Isa Pen and Paper, because she does these really adorable little clouds as her like swatch shape, and I thought that was so cute. Mine won't be as nice and like thought out as hers. Mine will be probably a lot more messy, and I think I'm probably gonna go in with my more fine line one and just kind of make it a little bit messier. But yeah, I really liked both of their kind of approaches, and I wanted to kind of incorporate that a little bit, especially if you guys aren't following them. You probably are because they're pretty known in the stationery community, especially on YouTube. So if you're not, definitely give them a follow. I'll link their information in the description. So without further ado, we have 15 pens to get to. Let us get started. So on the side here, we have everything I'm going to be doing, mostly because a lot of this writing stuff takes more of my brain power than I need it to. So this is just strictly swatching. So the first bottle we have up here is one of the inks I had mentioned in my last week's video of my stationery haul from Japan, and that is this Sailor Nagoya Kintachi ink. It's this really nice yellow, kind of more of like this tone as opposed to the background. It's like more of this darker yellow. And the pen I have that inked up in is my newest Platinum 3776 Century in Koi. This is in a 14K medium nib, and is the reason why I bought this at Kingdom Note, because if it wasn't, I wasn't gonna buy it. So the tools I'll be using to swatch are my little glass stirrer and my newest Tachikawa glass nib holder with the Kakamori seal dip nib. So let's see if I remember how I wanted to do this. Like I said, this isn't gonna be pretty. They're gonna be some of the messiest clouds you've seen, more like a dust cloud as opposed to a regular cloud. And then what I wanted to do is just kind of like to show more of like how the fine line looks is through like little swirly bits there. Maybe I could zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Awesome. So that is Sailor, Nagoya, Kinsachi. And the reason I went with yellow as opposed to a red was, one, I already had a pen in this lineup with red, so I didn't want to do two reds. And getting this like more white pearlescent color in an ink is really hard. Like you're getting either like a gray or like a very pale peach. But if you look at the pen here, there is yellow notes in the pen itself. And when I saw that, I immediately thought of this color. So that is why this colors went together. And this pen, I mean, every platinum I've had, they're actually, I think, all medium. Yeah, I believe they're all medium. I actually have one broad, and that one is my tiger one. Write beautifully. So if you don't have a Platinum 3776 and you've had it on like a wish list as like a real pen or just something that you really wanted, I would definitely highly recommend it. Or if you go to a pen show and you meet people and you want to test them out, like definitely see if you could test write with them, or if they're at a show. Regardless, I am definitely a platinum fan, and getting this one in Japan was such a dream. It would really help if I made sure that the camera is rolling. But I just swatched the next color here, and that is from a new brand to me. It's Pierre Cardin. This is really cute cat series. I think the top says like Catty Fantasy, Cat Fantasy, City Fantasy. It says something on the top there. It's kind of hard to see. I think it says City Fantasy. But this line has a lot of cute cats on it, and I really was drawn to this color specifically. And when I was looking at what pen to put it with, I immediately thought of this pen because it does have like more of those brown tones, and it has like that bluish where I feel like the shimmer pulls it out. So I paired these two together. I just literally swatched the color when I realized that the camera wasn't rolling, which is not surprising here. I tend to always not pay attention to what's happening up there because I really get engrossed in swatching. But in this one, I have it in a, I don't think I mentioned, my Radius Setsuma Marma Bianco. This is not the nib that came with it. I swapped it out from my newest Leonardo. This is a broad nib, and this is handling the shimmer really, really well. Really broad pen. I actually didn't realize how medium and broad my lineup is this time, but I'm not mad about it. Especially if it means I'm gonna show up a lot more shimmer. Next ink here is a really special one to me because it is the first ink I've ever owned, and that is the Sailor Mizutama Kohiru color. I've had this bottle so long that like literally the label's coming off. Stay on. It's almost done too. Like this is a 15 milliliter bottle, and I'm like about there on it being done. Really awesome color. I've tried to match this one because the only way you can get this color is if you have the Sailor Mizutama pen, the Profit Junior. And so the only color I've kind of found close to it, even though it runs a little bit darker, is the Sailor 673. If you have that color, you have something pretty close to this one, albeit again, it runs a little bit darker. But besides that, the richness of the brown is pretty accurate. So the pen I have with this one is my Mike's Pen Fun pocket pen in the one I've called Cinnamon Sugar. Looking at this color now with the two, I was trying to match the brown for this, but it's definitely not perfect. However, I actually don't mind that. Because this brown runs more, I would say warm, as opposed to like neutral or cool, and so technically these don't match perfectly, but I do like the brown richness to it still. And maybe I'll switch it out mid-season, I don't know. But for right now, I really love how a medium nib, like a medium steel nib, handles this ink, because I've only ever had this color inked up into a Sailor. And so I've never actually seen like more properties to it besides seeing in like a medium or a medium fine, which in a Japanese nib it writes more like a fine. So that is that one. The next one here we have is the Dropout Arclayer Red, and I've actually kept this one in its box because I really had to show off again how adorable the packaging is for this ink. So adorable. And the brand Dropouts, I believe, is a stationery store, but they have like, they represent a lot of local ink makers, and this one is one of those. And the bottle is so adorable. There is a stopper on this, so this is gonna take me a second longer to just open. Alright, thankfully enough though, the spout is still big enough to dip my glass pen into, or like my glass stirrer into. Awesome. And I paired this one up with is my newest Arclayer pen. This is in the double helix, the clear body. Actually, funny enough, Arclayer is having a Kickstarter with Endless Pen. So if it's live, I'm gonna post it in the description, or at least I think it's like coming soon. So I don't know if it's live yet when this video comes out, but I'll link the website in the description. But this is the really cool double helix, and the reason I really wanted this one is because I really thought it looked like the T-Briars from Resident Evil, and so I was like, if I put green, blue, or red in here, it's gonna look really much like it, and I love that. And it's hard to tell because obviously with the video angle here, like when you flip it upside down and like write with it, or flip it right side up again, like you could see the air bubble traveling through, and it's a really fun, it's almost like a little fidget toy. I'll literally just keep doing this sometimes. You can kind of see that the air bubble coming up a little bit. Let's see if I can do it again. Yeah, you can see it a little bit, but this pen is really fun. I will say though, this is in a medium, but this very much writes like a broad. Like it's a very wet, it might also be because the pen is very, like the ink is very wet. So it could also be that. Cause like that is juicy. Look at that. I'm not mad about it, but I'm just saying, like for me, like the experience is a lot broader than I thought it was gonna be, but it's still fun. And I literally can't stop doing this with this pen. The ink I'm going to show next is one that actually came with another pen, but I do believe you could purchase this ink separately, like it's sold individually, and that is from Van Diemen's, the Bengal Tiger Blaze. This is a pen that came with my Leonardo Pen Shelley collab with the Jonathan Brooks resin for the Bengal Tiger pen, and I love this color, but I don't love it for that pen. It is a very pretty pink, and for me that doesn't really scream tiger. Like, I'm thinking oranges and browns and stuff like that. For even the toe pads, I believe tiger toe pads are like black, so wasn't really understanding the color concept there. But if you take that out of the equation, this color is gorgeous. It's a really gorgeous pink with like gold, and let me see if I can see what other colors in there. It's like gold and like green shimmer. I don't know, it's got a bunch of colors in it, but it's such a pretty blend that I had a hard time choosing what pen to put this in. But once I picked it, I knew that it was the right one, like the right choice, and that was for my Sakura Pent collab for the Sakura Lucent. And this one I swapped it out to be a broad nib so that it could handle, again, the shimmer. Oh wait, forgot my little dip whisks. And this is a shimmer, so let's put those little stars. With stuff like the Kaweco, I found that if you switch it to a broad, you're definitely gonna be okay with ink, like with shimmer. Medium, you'll probably get most of it out, but a broad is a very safe, even like a double broad, you'll definitely get your shimmer out with that. But that is the pen I have with that one. Oh, this was a fun one. So this one is actually one I was seeking out when I went to Japan. I had seen it, not this specific color, but I had seen this collab from the Wet Pen channel, and I went to S-Light and not in Nihonbashi, and I went there in search for the S-Light exclusive with Inkmuse, their 3:15 p.m. rosy milk tea, and thank God it was the last bottle and I got it. And this is really gorgeous, as the name says, like fruity milk tea color. And the reason I really wanted this one as well was because if you've seen my Laravel pens video that I did where it was like my first maker pen that I like picked the blank for, when I made this pen, after it came here, it immediately made me think of this ink. So I really wanted to get these paired up together because I wanted the pen's namesake to be it. Like, this had to work out. So we have that one. And although the color match isn't perfect, mind you, this is the other pen that I really wanted to pair this color with, and I think at some point in the future it's going to happen, but for now I wanted to put the two fruity milk teas together. And so the reason I was talking about that this isn't like perfect is that this is definitely more of like a deeper pink. However, I really like them together. And honestly, so when I think of like tiger noses, I think of more of this color, maybe even peachier. So it's funny that this is the one that is the Bengal tiger color and this is the tea. And so, let me see if this will roll away. Probably, yeah, this will roll away. Oh, perfect. So this one is, got a long name. So this is the S-Light Spectrum X Inkmuse, which is a ink brand from Osaka that actually made this ink. And let's see if I'll fit this full name. 3:15 p.m. Rose. Fruity. Ooh, milk. Tea. Oh god. Okay, just barely made it in there. Like, literally just barely. And so, like, you see, like, the color isn't perfect, but I love this color together. Like, again, like I said, having the two, like the pen paired up with the ink that I thought of when I got this pen, like, it felt like a dream. So these are the two together. Alrighty, we are moving. Next up here we have is the Tono & Limbs ink Fruits Punch. This is another shimmer. I have a lot of shimmers lined up this season, but that's okay because, you know what, I am a shimmer lover, so this is great. This one is a collab with the stationery brand in Japan called Me Smile. I mentioned them a couple times in my tips video. If I remember, I'll also link them down in the description. And this one is a really fun, like, it literally does remind me of fruit punch. Like, think like high C fruit punch. Very artificial, but such a fun color. And this was along the same lines too, where it's like I could have put this in other pens, but it was like already hard to find a match because there was pens that I already had with red. And so I ended up picking this one, which is the Sailor Fude 30th anniversary pen called Shortcake. And the reason I went with this one is because the tip of this is like a red. And again, it's more red like that one, but I thought this would be a fun, like, little nod to this pen. And this is, like I said, a Fude nib, which means the actual nib point is turned upwards. So when you flip it, you could write super thin, but it also affects by the angle you hold it. So the lower you hold it, the wider. Sorry. The lower you hold it, the wider, and then the higher you hold it, the narrower. So at the narrowest point, it's supposed to be a medium fine. Let me turn this for a second. So this is, make sure this is spaced out right. So this is, so you see here, this is at the lower angle. So it's pretty wide. And then if I hold it higher, oh, let me, you get those finer lines. Yeah, so there you go. You get a lot of fluctuation in line mark. Oh, and I forgot to put those little dots. There we go. And so I didn't know how well this was going to handle the shimmer, but so far it's been handling it pretty well. So excited about this one. And I think it's just cute because it's like, the pen is called Shortcake and the ink is Fruits Punch. So I think it's just like a really cute name, like, combo between these two. Okay, fun. We have the first sample of the lineup because everything so far has been bottled. But that's, I mean, it was kind of hard not to do that when I had stuff from the trip. But so the first sample we have here is the Iroshizuku ink from Pilot, and that is Murasaki Shikibu. And this one is a really pretty, like, deep purple. Oh, I had to pop that bubble. Hold on. You always gotta be careful with those bubbles for when you open, because if you try to pop it over something, it literally, the little splatters go everywhere. So let me try to get a little in here. Yeah, this is a really gorgeous deep purple. I was gonna pair it up again with my Benu Pixie, but I have quite literally paired that with every purple ink since I've gotten that pen, so it's at least been like 2 or 3 seasons. So I was like, let me give that poor pen a break and bring a pen that I haven't used in a bit, which is my Le Bon skeleton in the rainbow. And I thought this was perfect because it definitely has that deeper purple in areas where I've typically mostly paired this one up with stuff that's like more in this like, not magenta, but like more pinky reds and purples. So I think it was perfect to finally pair this with a darker color. And if you know the history about this pen, I unfortunately did drop it. So the journaler that Gina did for me ended up being where I could only write with it in reverse. And Gina did say I could go and fix it with her, but I did get a different nib already ground for this pen. So I don't know if I need to get it fixed. It does write, I just have to write with it flipped. But I am tempted to bring it to her to show her that it still does work. So again, this is the Pilot. And it writes really well. There we go. Awesome. So again, that was this pen for this ink. Alright, no surprise, we have another shimmer. This time it is from Colorverse. This is Mystic Mountain. This is an ink that after using glue on for fall, I really wanted to use because the shimmer that came with glue on was insane. I am never, like, Colorverse never ceases to amaze me with their shimmer and how much they could pack into it, but also still making the formula like fluid enough that it won't clog my pens, or at least I just knocked on wood because so far it has not clogged my pens. Okay. And this I don't think will stay. Oh, okay, it kind of did. What I have this one paired up with is my TWSBI. Unfortunately, this TWSBI has been pretty much stained permanently. And the reason that happened is if you have the Esterbrook, the blue one specifically, the pen holder, it unfortunately does stain a lot of lighter pens, and this was unfortunately one of them. It only stained the top, so I'm okay with it, and the pen is not super pricey, but it did stink, and I'm still annoyed that that happened, but it is what it is. But I have this one inked up in here, and the shimmer in this is absolutely stunning. And yeah, like, I wonder if you could see. I'm now agitated, so it's kind of moving, but the ink in here is so pretty. And I had the glue one in my black TWSBI diamond for fall, so having this one for winter felt pretty accurate. Yeah, oh. I was like, there we go. Get some of that shimmer in there, but you'll definitely see it when I do the close-up for the pens here. Here we have now a sample from the San Francisco exclusive ink from the show called San Francisco Fog by Colorverse. This one was sent by my awesome friend Denise, and I was gonna swatch this pen that I have it paired with a different color. Specifically the ink that was paired with it in this set, but I thought this color was so pretty. Ooh, something on my paper. This color was really pretty and suited the theme of this pen as well. And that is my Sailor Ancora pen. This is the rainy day pen where the little finial has a little umbrella and the converter has rainy boots and another umbrella in rain. But this pen is really cool because the only way you could get it is if it's a rainy day. So I remember on my last day in Japan, like my last full day, it was raining. So right in the morning I got ready, and I think the store opens at 10 a.m. or 11, and I was out the door ready to go pick this up. Pretty sure I left my hotel at like 10 in the morning to go pick this up. But this is a L'Ecole, and the nib is nothing special, but I think the pen itself is such a cool like memory. So I went out to go grab it. And it's a regular steel medium fine, so if you're not a fan of the Sailor medium fines, then this pen might not be for you. Because as of right now, I think this is one of the 2 finest nibs I have in my lineup, actually. So yeah, so the color I was going to originally pair this up with was the Colorverse Rainy Day ink that came with the set for this pen. But I just thought this was a really fun combination, and I really wanted to use the sample that I got sent by a friend. The next one I'm going to show up here, I don't actually have the ink for because I got it inked up when I purchased the pen. So it was basically a service where you got it inked up with whatever was available at the store. And so that was for my newest Wancher Sailor Pro Gear collab. And this is in Otsukimi, and that means moon viewing. And so this pen is really gorgeous. It's blue, but there's gold specks in it. I don't know if you can see it, but absolutely gorgeous. And this is actually in a 21K nib. Because it is Wancher, it has the flower at the top here. And then you also get it on the nib. And so what I'm going to try to do on this one is try to get a drop of it down. Because the ink that's in this one is the Kingdom Note color Shinjuku Suburban Blue. And so what I'm going to try to do is get at least a droplet. There we go. Hopefully that's enough. And this is in my first ever broad nib. Most of my 21K nibs are medium fine or medium, so writing in this one is really nice and juicy. Oh, there we go. Here are another of the samples. I think actually the last 3? Yeah, the last 4 are going to be all samples. So this one is Ferris Wheel Press Dancing Time. I've been wanting to use this color for a bit, but hadn't found the pen that I wanted to. And since this one is just a clear body with black, it really can be put with any color. And so I thought, why not this one? And that one is in my Pilot Lightive. This was the pen that you could get at the Tokyo International Pen Show. Just a simple clear barrel with black. And I had this one in a medium. Love that. Such a fun, like, bluish, grayish green. And I think falls really nicely into winter. And the thing with the winter lineup though, and the reason why there's so many like pinks and like other colors is because you also have Valentine's Day and like that in February. So I also want, I really want to have options when it comes to the colors here. The third to last pen I have here is a super brand new one. I just got this a few days ago. And that is a pen I had seen at the Empire State Pen Show. And at the time I couldn't justify buying it because I had the Japan trip coming up. But seeing that I had a little bit of funds left over and I had sold a pen, I was like, I think I could do it. And that was this little Hollow Customs Fairy piston pen. This is made with brass on the actual grip section and the end. And is, like I said, a piston filler. And the resin is by Pens by Pasquale, or Pasquale. And it's such a gorgeous, like, really pretty, like, minty green going into, like, this really gorgeous dark gray. And so I immediately thought of the name Storm at Sea. And let me show you the nib section there. Has the logo. And I got this in a medium. Oh, before I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me swatch the ink. Oh, the reason I was getting ahead of myself is because I actually don't have an actual sample of this color. It is a version of somebody's custom-made Tono and Limbs color from the event that happened in Osaka, and they called it aquamarine. So we don't know what the mix of that is. We just know that the color is like a bluish green. And so what I had to do is add some of a green Tono and Limbs, which in this case was the color Sayamacha, and that leaned it a little bit more green. So this is another case where I don't have the color, so I'm gonna have to hope. Oh, there we go. Too much. I can get droplets down. There we go. There we go. Trying to get those in aim though sometimes is a mess, but we got it there. So we got this, and it is postable, but it makes it pretty back heavy because it's brass, so you don't really need to do the posting. And lengthwise, it's still a really good length. So in my hand, it doesn't need the pen in the back. All right, so for this, I just wrote Tono and Limbs Custom Blend. And on here it says Custom Blend plus Sayamacha, and that's what made it lean a little bit more that green, because that's what, for me, made that match to that cap almost perfect. Because that blue is, let me see if I have the swatch card. So this is the color, and you can see there's a green like shift here, and I wanted that green to pop out more, so adding that Sayamacha, which, let me flip to it. So that was the color, and then this is the green I added to it. It looks crazy neon, but a couple of drops of that is what made it this color, so it did end up working out. Okay, here we have the next color, which is Diplomat Moss Green. I wanted for the holiday season to make sure that I added a really nice deep green. And so this one was one of the ones that I haven't tried yet, and it has a really nice sheen to it. So I wanted to add this in because I had already used the Green with Curiosity for fall because of the sheening of that purple. So I wanted to try something else for winter. And so this color came up. And for that one, I had A pen I literally just mentioned I might not use when I was talking about this in my Japanese haul, but I was like, why not? Let's use it. So this is the Platinum Placer with the Tiger and Bunny collab. This one being Wild Tiger. And this one is in matte Oscar. And this is in the fine nib. If you have any of the Perfantes, or you can honestly just swap out this barrel part and put in, because the Perfantes have a medium, it's like a 0.5, and the fine for these are 0.3. So if you want it to be thicker, you could definitely swap it, and that's what I did with the Green with Curiosity pen. But the fine nib is also really nice, and like I said, I have a lot of medium to broad nibs here, so it was fine using another fine one. With the last color here, and that is one I got at one of the Cozy Travelers meetups, and this is Troublemaker Starry Night Blue. This is a really gorgeous, really super glittery ink, and a really great one to end this lineup with. Oh, speaking of which, before I even do this, this is a shimmer mix. Hopefully we'll be able to see it in the sample. Back to this one. So let me just agitate this a little bit, because this one has a lot of gold shimmer. And the pen that I have that one in is my TWSBI Eco in Mint. I have not used this pen in a really long time. I think pretty much since I bought it last year. And so I really wanted to give it a go. And even though the match isn't, like, there's no matchiness with this, I really thought these are a great combination. And since it's still bluish, I think it works really well with the mint. So this is Troublemaker. Blue. Sorry. Night. Yay. Okay. So let me finish drawing these up a little bit, and then I'll bring you on in. We'll zoom in and we'll look at these colors a little closer. Okay, we're here up close with these colors. With that Nagoya, you see a lot of really nice shading. With the Pierre Cardin, that is that shimmer I was talking about, like that silvery bluish one. Super pretty. Really nice, just solid brown. The apple red. So cute. These two together look so nice. The fruity milk tea. That stunning pink shimmer in the fruits punch. That one's just a solid purple. Look at that pink shimmer in that Mystic Mountain. Like I said, Colorverse does not joke when it comes to shimmer. Fog. The Suburban Blue by Kingdom Note. Dancing Time. Don't know if you see the shimmers much in the custom blend, because it is like a green shimmer. But super cute. Diplomat Moss Green. And then that is the gold in the Troublemaker. Crazy that much comes out in a medium. You can probably still see some of this in a fine. But yeah, that is everything. Alrighty, that's it. I'm gonna bring it up close again, even though I just did the close-up, just because I want to show off the little faces I drew on each little cloud. little dust clouds. I just thought it was cute because I give them each little personalities. But yeah, that's it. I'm, again, stunned that I got to this number because I really wasn't planning on doing 15 pens. But you know what? Here we are, and we're gonna see what happens at the mid-season check-in. But thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what your favorite combo was, or just favorite ink. For me, a lot of these are new, so I'm really excited to just see how they act. And I'm excited for the next video because I will be going through all my pens that I've acquired from July to December. If you haven't already checked out, I did do a mid-season pen check-in, which covered January to June. So check that out before the video comes out in 2 weeks. And yeah, that's all we got for today. I will see you in 2 weeks. I hope you stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you then. Bye.